I'm going to do something that's a little interactive here. Recently, there was an article that came out that there were some very high quality pictures of Mars. This is delivered by NASA and JPL and the California Institute of Technology. And what I want to do is, it's now on YouTube, and I'm going to provide the link to the clip. But what I'm going to do here in this interactive part, excuse me, just a moment here, is I'm going to stop the clip. I'm going to give you the time code so that you'll get an explanation of what I see in the photograph. For example, the first thing is soft disclosure. It looks like they're finally doing away with the orange filter so that you can see the nice clear blue skies of the planet Mars. So that's one thing. So anyway, we'll get the clip started here, and let's see how this goes along. It's about 3 minutes, so we'll get started.
This is the largest and highest resolution panorama the Curiosity rover has.
Okay, now, at 7 seconds, which is the first image, the gray area that's in the background, okay, towards the left, looks to me that it's been airbrushed. Something has been airbrushed out. So I would like to take the photograph and enhance it more to see what the details are. For example, you have very sharp detail in the front, and then in the back of the photo, you have nothing but blur. And again, fake mountains. Okay, we'll go further here.
Taken. It's made up of almost 1,200 individual images taken over 4 days. The rover's body is too close.
Okay, at 16, again, there's more airbrushing. It's in the background. It's the gray area that you see. And but again, you can also see the blue skies. So I'm glad they're getting away from the orange filter. And that's probably a lot of the millennials that are coming into the mid-level management positions there. So we'll continue.
Mastcam's telephoto lens. But we were able to capture the rover using the other Mastcam lens. The higher resolution version is nearly 1.8 billion pixels.
Okay, now at 26, you can certainly see the blue sky. So in a way, as I've said before, soft disclosure.
What I love about this panorama is that we can zoom way in and see details far in the distance. When you start to do that, you can see the rim of the crater we're inside of all the way to...
That's numbered at 38. It still looks like fake mountains, but I'll go ahead and that's what I see. You see what you see.
north. Here's an impressive sight. 20 miles away is Slang Post Crater, just inside Gale Crater's rim. End to end, Slang Post is 3 miles wide.
Here again at 53, all right, you have great, clear, sharp images in the foreground, but in the background, there's nothing. And then you can look at a lot of photographs anywhere in the National Geographic or other publications that no matter what the foreground, the sharpness is, the same sharpness goes all the way through the picture.
Huge must have struck here. Whenever I start to think that Mars looks familiar, sites like this dramatic impact crater remind me that we're looking at a different planet. Curiosity is exploring a clay-bearing region on the side of a mountain. This ancient landscape was the site of lakes and streams billions of years ago. They left their clues in the finely layered, clay-rich rock.
Nice soft disclosure, putting it bluntly.
This crumbling cliff is the edge of the green hue pediment.
Okay, at a minute and 28, well, you can see a lot of airbrushing here, airbrushing stuff out. And again, it doesn't look too sharp. So again, I don't know about those 1.8 billion pixels in this area.
It's a vast sheet of rock draped over the side of a mountain. It must have formed after the lakes disappeared and the mountain took its...
Okay, now at 136, if you can get that image, this is very good. This is the kind of image quality that I'm very interested in viewing. And to just take a look here, this also happens to be the area of the previous clip, Sol 2069. And if you look roughly in the center of the image, if you've stopped it at 136, you'll see the massive structure that is highlighted in the previous clip. Now, this is by coincidence that we're being able to see this, but this also may be an example of them responding possibly to us in soft disclosure. Because highlighted in the previous clip, you are going to see this. Now, this wasn't something that I planned or knew about. I just was seeing this just like you and commenting on the video, but this is that area. I'll be goddamned. Okay, let's continue.
Shape. Did it once extend even farther out? Curiosity looks a bit like an abstract painting here. That's because this is a 360-degree perspective. The image is warped, like looking through a fisheye lens. You can make out some amazing details on the rover itself. This is the shadow of Curiosity's mast. Here's RAD, an instrument that detects radiation from the sun and space. Thanks to RAD, we have a better idea of how to protect future astronauts on Mars. Why are there severed tubes and wires on the rover? These tubes were part of the fluid cooling system that circulated throughout the spacecraft that flew the rover to Mars. These wires were like an umbilical cord for data.
I thought that was very interesting in seeing that.
In spite of all the dust, our sundial still tells us to explore. Trailing behind the rover, you can see our tracks, including where
See, now stopping at 243, it's very clear in the front, but as you see in the background, it should be just as clear, especially with the quality of optics that they have available to them. So there's a lot of nonsense in this particular frame at 243. They're covering up something, probably what those tracks are leading up to.
climbed up a hill. Even after 7 years on Mars, Curiosity is not done making tracks yet. Panoramas like this are like...
But the one thing that is most important in the great soft disclosure is the blue skies. You notice that in the photographs, he said nothing about the blue sky. So I find that quite interesting. At least we don't have to look at those ugly orange puke filters they used to have on there.
Window to another world. Explore it yourself in a 360 video. Look for the link in the description.